unofficial sponsor of the day. Just kidding. No, for real though, we're here at Cohatch. I saw it at Hamilton Town Center. I remember seeing it being built and knowing that it was like shared office space, but this is my first time in here.
It's so cool.
It's really cool.
Do you come in here a lot?
Not a lot. They're definitely a partner with Main Street, just with little things like this. I'm also like, they do a lot with Young Life, so we have a lot of like meetings over here with Young Life. But yeah, it's super cool.
Well, I like this podcast room.
Yeah, it's
all like padded walls. I'm like, we're really official this week, Noblesville.
Lucky you.
Okay, so Angela and Paige are here today. Madison is off on a really cool adventure with her husband today, so that's all right. She'll be back next week with us.
That's right.
It's always good to spend time with your spouse whenever you can, so that's good. Yeah. Let's get into it.
Let's do
Main
it.
Street, Noblesville.
Yes.
Lorna.
Mm-hmm.
What is your position?
Yeah, so I am the executive director of Noblesville Main Street. And really that just means we're a nonprofit, so that's kind of like a different role opposed to like any other like president or CEO of a different organization. But basically, so it's I'm the executive director, Jenny is the community and promotions manager, and then we have a board of directors of about 13 right now. So
Gotcha.
all of us together like make Noblesville happen.
So you two work together a lot then?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So you're like full-time, and then the board of directors just comes in and says, hey, we want to do this or that?
Yeah, absolutely. They're all volunteer, and then at board meetings and community events they attend. We also have committees. We kind of just break up the work into different committees. So we have an economic development committee, we have a promotions committee, and then we have an organization committee, which is all focused on fundraising and marketing and things like that. So
cool. Gotcha. Yeah. Am I remembering that you've been with Main Street for 3 years?
Yes. Yep. Okay. Absolutely. Yep. This is my. It's weird because I always count it in event season, so it's like my fourth event season, but my third like calendar year or whatever.
That's fun to think about.
Yeah. Well, when you run the farmers market like for 24 weeks of the year, that's kind of where your like calendar starts and ends.
Truly.
So.
We've mentioned the farmers market a lot here. And so, to put that into perspective for the rest of Noblesville, this is who does it.
Yes.
So, put that on, and we're so thankful for that stinking farmers market.
And it's grown.
It's great.
It's crazy. Yeah. I think this year is probably a record number of vendors. We're pushing 90 on a weekly basis.
Oh, my Lanta.
And it's incredible because the Noblesville Farmers Market's unique because all of our vendors are home-based vendors, and so the products that you see at our farmers market are all handmade by these merchants, which is incredible.
Yep.
So, Jenny, remind me, you went to IU.
Yes.
And then, but you're not from Indianapolis.
I'm not from Indianapolis.
But from IU is how you ended up here.
Yeah, yep. So it's actually funny, Lorna and I went through the same exact program at Indiana University just, I don't know, six years apart-ish.
We don't need to count.
I'll edit that out.
I don't need to put a number on that. But yeah, so it was kind of like an instant connection on that. And I graduated in December of 19, got the job in January 2020, and here we are.
Yeah, and you made it through, right?
We made it through, yes. Yeah, it was definitely interesting. Never really thought my first job out of college would be managing a global pandemic, but
yeah, that's okay.
Here we are.
Hey, well, that's good for your resume.
True, right. Tell me about a time you had to overcome adversity.
So
COVID-19.
Yeah, truly. Everyone can put that on there now. So you do a lot of the marketing, is that correct?
Yeah, so I handle like all the social media promotions of our events. I do like the graphic design for all of our marketing materials. So I kind of have my hand in that aspect too.
Love it. Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah.
That's got to be a fun job, just to be creative every day that you go to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Because being a real estate agent, we have a little creative side. We get to hone in on it every once in a while.
I know,
but it's not. I want to dive into that, but I can't.
You're more than welcome to join me.
Like if I could just do that part of it all the time.
Yeah. No, it's super fun. Definitely makes every single day different, and it kind of keeps me on my toes because they're constantly working on a new project.
For event seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always
fun.
Event a year.
Yeah.
So tell us some of besides the farmers market, what else do you guys do, and where we can see you in the background playing it out?
Yeah, I think that's something that we're constantly like battling. It's like, oh, this event is happening, but like, oh my gosh, it's a Noblesville Main Street event. So we're always trying to push our name out there more. But you can you can always see us like the First Friday events in downtown Noblesville. The live music on the square is usually us behind the scenes about that. Coming up soon, we have the Chocolate Trail, which is the First Friday.
Okay. Go ahead. Pause. Let's stop there for just a second, because this could
all
be a
of
whole
you
episode.
on What's Up Noblesville, listen up.
Because when I heard this, I almost died.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. So let's tell us about that.
Whoever wants to talk.
So it's super fun. Basically, we have 20 merchants downtown participating, and so basically you pick up a map at any one of these 20 merchants, and you follow the trail throughout every store, and every store has like sales going on and little chocolate samples.
On the square?
On the square,
okay.
Yep, and so you follow your trail, and then at the end of the night, when you get every spot checked off, stamped off, whatever, you drop off your map in one of the locations, TBD. And then basically we draw 3 random maps and give away a whole gift card package.
Oh, nice.
So it's super fun.
I'm excited for the chocolate.
Yes, exactly.
But how cute is that?
It's so fun.
I feel like we need to dress up like Willy Wonka.
We should have a
Candy singing it down the street.
You're welcome. I will now work with you.
Yeah, good job. That is okay. We will take you.
Have you ever seen the episode of The Office where he wears the Willy Wonka?
Yes.
He gets the golden ticket.
So funny.
And then he's like, that wasn't my idea.
That's it. It should be in a little golden ticket thing when you hand out your coupon.
That would be perfect.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Love it. We're always taking creative ideas.
That's gonna be so fun though.
That'll be neat.
It's so fun. And every business does like some different chocolatey treats. So like some places will do chocolate chip cookies, other places will do fudge. So
we like
chocolate.
So what
is very
day
unique.
is this? So everybody knows.
Yep, it's September 3rd from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay.
And then we will also have live music on the square from 7 to 9.
Guys, I'm so excited.
Yeah, this will be fun.
I'm like, my kids are gonna love it.
Yeah.
It's so
my
fun.
husband's gonna love it.
Yeah. It's a really fun event.
Yeah, I would say come earlier rather than later if you can. It's impossible to like tell a merchant how much chocolate to have because it's free for all of you to participate. Yep. So we always do say while supplies last. But everyone usually like has like a fun chocolate and then like a bag of Hershey Kisses in the back or something.
5 to 9.
5 to 9. So I'll be there at 3.
Okay.
So I love it.
Perfect.
With your tennis shoes on, so
you're
running
shoes.
Well, hopefully the weather will be nice. We'll all be sweating to death.
Yeah. Oh, my Lanta.
So what else in September do you have going on?
Yeah, so our farmers market is still kicking off through the month of September. We focus heavily on that first Friday of the event or of the month, and then
what's that?
The chocolate trail.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
But then we have a kids' day at the farmers market.
Yep. We also have a kids' day. So
let me just write this stuff.
Yeah, take some notes there. This one's September 18th, 8 a.m. to noon, the same hours of the market. But basically, this is an opportunity we let young kiddos set up a booth at the farmers market. So you'll see like we always like to tell the story. One of our board members.
What are some of the things that they have?
So one of our board members has the cutest kid I've ever seen in my life, and she makes her grandma's secret recipe of honey mustard, and we'll sell her. I can't remember
Mississippi mustard.
There you go.
Mississippi mustard.
So Charlotte's Mississippi mustard.
It's the cutest thing ever. So it's a really cool way to see all these kids. We always say young entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Creating their own their products, and then you always have their mom saying, well, this booth costs $20, so you need to sell at least $20 of items to make sure you are breaking even.
Oh my word, guys, save a spot for the Corbett.
It's so sweet. We will absolutely. I think that's one thing about the farmers market a lot of people don't realize is that it's really a catalyst for small business development in our community, which is huge.
Yeah.
Texi Mexi that's on the square now started at the farmers market.
No.
Swear to God.
I love that.
That's a really cool place. Have you eaten there yet?
It's delicious.
I did one day, and it was really good.
Let's go there for lunch this
Also,
week.
they have margarita flights, which
I don't know. That sounds fun.
It's super fun.
Okay.
We'll see that later.
So like, does that mean it escalates?
Yeah, basically. Comes with an Uber home. It's fun.
It's all included package.
We're here to serve
and
more
ideas.
But yeah, no, really our farmers market is such like a cool, especially like coming out of the pandemic, like everyone got a hobby or a new business at home, and so really we've seen just like an influx of like really creative, really awesome businesses that also like lots of them have a tie back to like giving back to nonprofits. Karma Candles is one of them that comes to mind. she survived. She's a survivor of breast cancer. It was kind of like, hey, what can I do? What can I sell to like continue to give back? As she was in remission, and she has the coolest stuff. It's like not just candles. It's like cutting up old fire hoses that would be thrown away and putting them on hats, or like cool stuff like that, keychains, fun stuff like that. And so anyways, it's become such a business for her too. And so that story you can just see throughout our farmers market. So I always like to say, like, yes, we want you to shop local, but also just like investing in our community by supporting small businesses.
Well, yeah, you support a whole family when you do that, right?
That's our whole mission with this podcast, is to really highlight those type of things here in our town that's local. So, because if people don't know about these things,
yeah, you don't know if you don't know.
That's our point. So that's why we're excited to work with you guys a little bit more moving forward to know, because you guys got the deets.
We do, all of them.
All of them.
All of the deets.
Okay, so then what's next after your farmers market, the kids' day? What else do you got going on?
2 weeks in October, we still have the farmers market. So last farmers market is October 9th. And then we have a First Friday in...
That's so sad. I can't the tomatoes anymore.
I know. After 24 weeks, though, it's like, woo! And then we also have a First Friday in October as well. So it's going to be kind of working out the details of what this looks like still, but think like trick-or-treating, and we'll have live music on the square that night as well from 7 to 9. So stay tuned.
Don't you guys
more
do
details.
A trick-or-treating on the square?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So the small businesses will open up their doors, and then the kiddos can go in and trick-or-treat every business, which is fun. Yeah.
I'll put some of these things in like the show notes too, just as reminders.
Awesome.
Yep. And I can send you the links to the Facebook
we can get
and stuff.
Links, yes.
For sure.
Boom. So that'll all be in there. You can find it if you're watching this on YouTube or in the show notes wherever you're listening. We'll have links to stuff because basically everyone needs to be here.
Yep.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah. Okay, Lorna.
Yeah.
As executive director, what do you do? Because do you do it all? 'Cause it sounds like Jenny does it all, and you do it all.
Yeah, absolutely. So
one of you guys, each of you are doing everything and totally different things.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. And we were so thankful when we were able to.
Well, they had a little assistant in there.
Yeah, we had our intern. We always have an intern this summer, really to just like give back to like the young professionals in our community. What can we teach people to do or like expose them to? But Jenny hasn't always been here. This was a position that we fundraised for and really saw obviously a need for to just run all the events, because we don't just do events, right? We do business development, we do small business support. We're really an in-between for Noblesville is the county seat, so we have the county level of government to kind of deal with and communicate with, and also the city level of government to deal with and work with. And our city right now is in a great time of change and momentum, and so Noblesville Main Street really is the in-between of those two entities. So it's attending city council meetings, plan commission meetings, like really being a voice at the table that speaks up for our downtown when it comes to construction projects or things like that. Also with a nonprofit, that means every dollar we spend, we have to raise, which means that's what I do a lot.
Yeah.
So sponsorships, fundraisers, who can we connect in the community to kind of just bolster our community overall and Noblesville Main Street overall. So that's a lot of it. I still play a part in the events and just managing everybody. Like I said, Jenny started in 2019 and has been hugely helpful. But also like her first year, we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So it's like
she got to see the background.
Yeah. So normally like I always say like your first year, like you did it. This is like second time around, and so. Unfortunately, because of the environment that we're in, that didn't happen. So yeah, we do everything as far as people come to us with some crazy ideas. One of my favorite parts of my job, I always say, is equipping passionate community members to make a difference. And so I think you guys will probably talk to a couple later, but the Peony Festival came as like a crazy idea that someone came to me, and I was like, I've always wanted to do a flower festival. Like, let's do it.
Oh, the best.
Yeah, or the Porch Festival. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, like let's do it. Let's figure out how we can get this going. And so lots of meetings, lots of being in the community, creating relationships, meeting people, to just overall like add to the fabric of our community is what I do.
Love that.
Yeah.
Well, you've been doing a good job.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
Now, when we met a couple weeks ago,
I
was super fascinated, and I think really Noblesville is really in tune with the history of Noblesville.
We are.
So I was wondering if you could share kind of what you were telling us about how, like, Noblesville Main Street's been here 31 years.
Yeah.
And kind of how that works. And
absolutely. Yeah, so, I guess I should just start with, we belong to Main Streets of America, which is a national nonprofit that exists to ensure historic downtowns like ours stay relevant and vibrant and entrepreneurial, and that things and people with deep pockets don't come in and bulldoze it all down and build big purple skyscrapers. The design and the history of small towns is very important to Main Streets of America. So other communities around us that could have like some Main Streets, Lebanon, so they have the square. I think Sheridan is starting one. Franklin, Madison, so those like historic more. I'm pretty sure Bloomington has one. Downtowns kind of have a Main Street, so starts out as all volunteer. Passionate community members that want to come together and create an organization that kind of like holds it all together.
Right.
So ours was started by Nancy Chance. That's another person. If you don't know Nancy Chance, you should. I call her the nonprofit queen of our city. She's fantastic. She started Noblesville Main Street, really realizing that, hey, we need a separate entity and a voice to really speak up for our downtown and to represent them at the county and the city level. And so that's what she did. She got more passionate people together. Eventually they fundraised enough money to hire an executive director, and that's kind of moved on down the line. But the history has always been very important to everybody. If anyone comes to downtown Noblesville, the one thing they're going to say is that it feels different, it feels old, the buildings are super cool. And so how can we always make sure that is a thread in what we do, and that as we get new administration and new business owners and new developers coming in, that's one of our biggest things is you want to build in downtown Noblesville? Wait, we got to talk to you right now, because we need to tell you how important it is to maintain the integrity of our historical nature in downtown. So that's a big part of our job, and something that we never really want to lose sight on. We're super blessed in Noblesville to have some really awesome, educated historians, honestly, that are just so super cool. And then it's kind of like our job to be like, okay, here's a super cool story, a really fun, quirky story. Like, what can we do to make everyone else know about it, or make it a thing? Stuff like that. So
we need to maybe dive into the squirrel thing.
Yeah, the squirrel thing. You
I didn't know that was a thing. Listen, Noblesville Chatter is hilarious because there are people whose families have been here. I mean, Angela, her family's been here for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And so she remembers when there was the movie theater, things like that. But I love that group is. I have a love-hate relationship with it because it's crazy, but it's so much fun. But a lot of people will post the then and now photos, and I love to see the buildings that are still there from crazy. Ages ago.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for sure. There's and also there's there's a grant that the city and Main Street partner on, that people who own buildings can apply for the grant to restore them. So a lot of the awnings that you see in downtown Noblesville are not original, the big, you know what I'm talking about, the big vinyl or canvas or whatever awnings, and so taking those off is expensive, and restoring things like that. And so that's been a really cool thing, that we've been able to see, just the buildings kind of return back to their their original form. But also some of the biggest events come out of old historical crazy stories. And so one of them in Noblesville is the Great Squirrel Stampede. I know. I'll say it again because it sounds so bizarre. It's the Great
We want somebody that had been there or knew about this as they were growing up to comment and tell us. We want to interview you.
Yeah. And I'm going to not do it justice, and I'm going to let someone else really go into it. But basically, I don't even want to say, I think I'm going to mess it up, but some natural disaster occurred, and I'm pretty sure water was flooding everywhere, which caused
North Noblesville.
Yes,
right.
Which caused all the squirrels that lived in trees and in the bottoms of the ground to flee to higher ground. So literally there's old pictures of like seas of squirrels like running.
I want to see that picture.
Crazy.
It's
crazy.
Yeah.
I
Maybe I'll find it on Google.
Yeah, you probably can.
We have to search
the
that.
Great Squirrel Stampede.
Squirrels.
That's
crazy. A funny note.
Yes.
My son
so
wore
funny.
tall socks today with squirrels on them.
Oh, so appropriate. So appropriate.
I bet you can guess which child.
Yes.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
I love it. Yeah. So yeah, just just like crazy stuff like that. I was in Colorado recently, and I saw a banner for the Frozen Dead Guy Festival.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? And there's this old
This is
story.
a big one. I just saw that on TV
Really?
just lately. Yeah, like Friday or Saturday.
Was there a Frozen Dead Guy?
Yeah. In a really old house, someone bought it, and they were like, we don't know what's in the freezer, ha ha ha. And it was a Frozen Dead Guy.
And they have a whole event.
Me and all of my crime podcast people would just really eat this up.
Yeah, and so then everyone comes and dresses up as zombies, and there's a festival around it.
Yeah. I just saw that. Literally just saw that.
That like these things just keep going.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people don't understand or know that the event industry is largely based on old historic actual events that happen that we just bring back, and we're like, hey, this is a really crazy thing. Yeah. This is our thing.
Yeah.
The Peony Festival, the peony is a state flower, so that's kind
now
of
it's Noblesville thing,
yeah, now
right?
it's the Noblesville thing.
No one else can take this over.
No one can take it. We have it forever.
I mean, we had so much fun there. I think it was so busy. That was like the first thing after last year.
Yeah.
That Angie and I got there early, even though we were oh my word.
Yeah, you guys did a great job.
Yeah, thanks.
Very good job.
Thanks. It'll be bigger and better the next year, so it'll be good stuff. Cool. So yeah, that's really.
And I made a really sweet friend, one of the little flower shops, Monica.
Aww.
Yeah.
So, what could, if somebody wanted to get involved, what could they do, or how could they help? Where would they donate, or anything like that? Because you are a non-for-profit.
Yep.
So how could somebody help you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, just touching on the nonprofit thing again, any dollar we spend, we have to raise. That means our salaries. That means we have to pay for the police officers at the farmers market, or how do we get the park? The park's donated, thankfully, from the city because they're amazing. But other things like how can we, like Chocolate Trail isn't free to put on, things like that. So you can always donate on our website. It's just noblesvillemainstreet.org. And we also have QR codes on everything. That's an easy thing. We also sell t-shirts, so I think that's a really just fun, cool thing to do, a townie t-shirt. That you can kind of get involved that way. But also if you're just you have free time, you're looking for ways to invest in your community, we have a form on our website that just says how to get involved. You'll kind of just it's just a little form. You put your name, your address, your email, and just what are you interested in. And then I think there's going to be lots of big volunteer opportunities coming up in 2022 that we really need help with getting on. Also, if you want to be even more invested, you want to join a committee, you're really interested in the economic development side of Noblesville, or you love event planning, you would meet with the executive director, Jenny, or a board member, and we can get you plugged in that way too. So yeah, love it.
After we left, she was like,
this is where I belong.
Yeah.
Be there. How do I get involved in it?
Oh my gosh, yeah. We'll get you in touch with the right people.
Yay. You saw it first, peeps.
Yeah, that's it.
So what about the board of directors? Tell us a little bit about that and how they work and help you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So I always call our board of directors my home team. They're my people. If something crazy happens at an event, which unfortunately just happens, they're my people. I'm like, hey, what do we do? I need help managing this thing. But it's a term limit, so most board of directors positions, you have to be voted on and instated into the board. It's a 3-year term, and then you can serve 2 consecutive terms at a time, so a max of 6 years. And really, it's kind of that next level of investment into Noblesville and Main Street overall. So we expect you to help us connect with possible sponsors or donors. Fundraising is always a commitment for the board of directors. Also, we really need a commitment of time. The farmers market is every week for 24 weeks. And so
do they all come every week?
Yep, they all volunteer at the farmers market or all of our events. Duck race we have in the end of July. They have to sell duck race tickets. So it's just really furthering our mission, but also getting our needs met at a very monetary level
sure.
For that too. But yeah, it's a great group of people. If you have some sort of like passion or talent or career, we're always looking for people. Like we have a lawyer on there from CCHA, Churchill and from downtown.
Mm-hmm.
But they're always really helpful in the sticky issues just with nonprofits overall. We have people in banking and finance. We have marketing people. Kind of every normal, I guess, like department in a normal business, we kind of want those people on our board to kind of help us with all those little things. So
that's cool.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah, it is. It's
so
cool.
do you have any positions coming available like in the next 2 years? Like, so it's a 3-year term.
It's
so
a 3-year term. Yeah, actually, I do think we have a couple positions that will be open in 2022.
If somebody wanted to get involved.
Yeah, get involved. Yeah, send us an email. All of our board contacts and emails are on our website, so I would encourage you to get in touch with our board president or vice president or the executive committee and just kind of express your interest that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's cool.
Is there anything that we didn't touch on that you really wanted to bring up today?
Definitely Kids Day and Chocolate Trail. That's
and then what about, I know you guys do a November and December thing. So what are happening in there?
Yeah, so November 1st Friday, we call it Flannel Fest. And basically it's a weekend long initiative.
Yay, now I can buy that flannel jacket.
There you go. And it just kind of works like wear your flannel to like Mateo's in downtown Noblesville and, get this fun drink.
Well, I love that.
Yeah, it's super fun. And like I said, it's over the whole weekend. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday of...
Oh, it's a whole weekend.
Mm-hmm. I think that Friday date is November 5th.
Okay.
That sounds right.
Remember the 5th of November.
Yeah, there you go.
That stopped me in my tracks there. Any excuse to buy more flannel is great for me.
Very true.
Costco has the best flannels right now. I was just serious.
I have a Sam's Club membership. Maybe they have some too.
Maybe. We can trade. For a week.
Yeah. What about December?
Well, end of November too, we always do a huge initiative around Small Business Saturday. So this year is, I feel like with COVID and everything, the whole like shop local, buy local initiative took off, and so this year we're kind of hoping that mindset is still applied. But we're trying to do like a whole Small Business Saturday weekend, and so this kind of takes the pressure off the merchants on that one Saturday, but we're also trying to create like a whole holiday atmosphere around it as well. So activating every alley with something interactive. The North Alley, we secured like a hot chocolate vendor, working on something fun for the East Alley, and then we're also trying to work and find a Boy Scout troop to sell Christmas trees in one of the alleys too. So again, just creating a whole
I remember when
holiday.
we were little and we used to go buy our Christmas trees over at the Dairy Queen, which is the firehouse.
Yeah.
And they would have it all fenced off.
Oh yeah, she said Firehouse Pizza used to be the Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's where you would get your Christmas tree.
Yeah, because they were shut down for the winter because they closed down.
So fun.
So they would have that little parking lot.
That is so cute.
Yes.
Fun.
Yeah, Small Business Saturday is huge in our community. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And we just really encourage people to do all, if not most, or some of your shopping for the holidays at the small businesses, because truly they feed families.
Yeah.
Which is the most important. So.
Yeah. And then what about December? You have the Santa house. Are you guys involved in that?
So that's the Historical Society that manages the Santa house, but we specifically don't have a First Friday event in December. We kind of just help promote everything that's happening in downtown. So we market it as Deck the Downtown, and that includes the Santa house on the square. That includes the lights over Seminary at Seminary Park, the tree lighting ceremony with the chamber. It's an all-encompassing holiday event. So we just kind of help push that out and get people downtown, including like the ice skating rink at Federal Hill. And
because that's Parks, right?
That's Parks Department. Yep, and I believe that they always do like a carriage ride with Santa too. So again, just kind of helping spread the word out.
Yeah, they kind of started that last year, didn't they?
Yeah, it was super
fun. That was really cool.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I think one thing I could say, two things, like we do a lot, but we don't do it alone. Like we have other really awesome organizations in our community, the Chamber, Nickel Plate Arts. We work very closely with the city, the Parks Department. All these people like really come together to make downtown really awesome. And the last kind of shameless plug I would give is, I think right now more than ever, it's so imperative that we are investing in our community, not even just like with your money, but with your time. So if you, I hate the word volunteer. Like, I think it's so like,
I won't use that in the show notes.
No, I hate the word volunteer so much. But really, like, I think
contribute.
Contribute and invest in your community. Yeah. Like, we all want our community is important to us. We've bought property here. We have jobs here. Our family is here. So how can you get involved just at a very like basic level, but also like investing your time and your passions and your talents into downtown. And it definitely doesn't have to be with Main Street. If it's the chamber, everybody has board of directors. Everybody has committees and I mean be an active voice in your community, a positive and constructive active voice. I can't tell you how many city council meetings or public meetings I've been to that there's no public there, but then everything is on social media. So all of those things are open to the public. So if you have a question or if you have a problem, I know all the city councilors personally. They're amazing people. They truly have the best vision and want to do the best for Noblesville that they possibly can. So if you have an issue, please go talk to your council member. Like, they would love to talk to you. Also, like, the hot button council meetings that I've been to, every single one, a city council member says, it's so great to see you all here. Like, just participating in the dialect and the discussion around our community that we all love so much.
They're here for.
Yeah, absolutely. So take your family and just like on a Tuesday night, all the meetings are published on the City of Noblesville website. Usually just Google like city council meetings or any whatever. I just Google everything. And it's all on there just to be an active, constructive voice. Our mayor is awesome. Our administration is great. Also, like, the county commissioners are so great. If you ever see one, introduce yourself. They would love to talk to you. So
awesome. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we want to thank you very much.
Yeah.
We don't want to keep you for the rest of the day, but because we could talk chatter all day.
Yeah, I love it.
So, What's Up Noblesville wants to thank the Main Street very much for coming and talking to us today. And if you have any questions in our show notes, you can reach out to them. And thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.